Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Valley Views. I am your award-winning host, Amanda Joy Christensen, and I'm super excited to welcome you all to season 4, episode 5, that I'm entitling Hide and Seek, a good girl story book come to life. If you're new to Valley Views, this is the first time you're joining, I just want to welcome you. As I mentioned, I am going to just give you a mini intro about what I do here. I write a weekly story every week profiling someone here in the Las Vegas Valley or outside if they want to share about their small business, if they want to educate someone on a topic that revolves around hospitality, or they are an ultimate community badass who is leaving their mark and making a legacy here in the city that I love. This episode tonight is definitely one you want to catch because it is an interview episode, and those are some of my favorites. This is a pre-written interview that I will be sharing by two remarkable women who are both entrepreneurs and moms and business owners. So, without further ado, let me jump in and give you a mini intro on Hide and Seek, creating the experiences you've only imagined. Welcome back to Valley Views, where I am here to share your story, your voice, and your idea, as well as the people here shaping the Las Vegas community. Las Vegas is known around the world for entertainment, but what happens when people no longer simply want to watch a story? What happens when they actually want to step inside it? Well, today we're going to explore the growing world of immersive entertainment with two women who are creating something without a traditional blueprint. Their company, Hide and Seek. It brings together interactive storytelling, romance, fantasy, and live experiences designed to give people the opportunity to step outside of their everyday life and into the world of imagination. Today's story will profile Chelsey Walton and Tristen Lear, two of the creative minds behind the Hide and Seek team. Alongside their other two, Cynthia and Vanessa, Hide and Seek is working to create an immersive experience that invites people, particularly women, to explore fantasies, stories, creativity, and connection in a safe and welcoming environment. So, that is the intro on Hide and Seek. Now, let's take a pause, and I wanted to share a little bit about the intention of today's show. Traditionally, I go through and I read every question, but I've actually gone ahead and pre-wrote a thoughtful script to give you all the idea. I actually did take some time behind the scenes to interview Chelsey and Tristen over the phone, and they are two extremely talented women in their own verticals. However, coming together to create something that, as you learn through the storytelling tonight, is a immersive experience where women can come and act out a real life storybook fantasy. So the design of the show, well, let me continue and you'll kind of understand where I'm going with this. So let me begin by introducing Chelsey and Tristen. Um, they are the creative team along with Cynthia and Vanessa. They are the heart of Hide and Seek, and their belief is that there should be more opportunities for people to experience stories rather than just simply observe them. So, what they have created ultimately is a place where your imagination in your mind has somewhere to go. I always profile people. Where did you grow up and what is something you remember? Chelsey is a Las Vegas native, while her partner Tristen is originally from Manatee, California. Chelsey remembers one of her most special memories being her time spent at the University of Nevada in Reno. She remembers loving nature there and always finding time to walk alongside the scenic paths behind her apartment. It was a very different environment from Las Vegas, one that actually offered space, scenery, and moments to simply explore. And not to get political, but I will say there is a very serious fire that was called today, that is happening in Reno. So I usually do talk about how we can help our fellow Nevadans. So if you have a chance to donate or help out to the fire, this is not in their interview. I'm just literally talking about this because it's breaking news. But the fire in Reno is very serious. It's impacting over 14,000 people, similar to the Lahaina fires, similar to the California fires. These were came on very fast. That's all I'm gonna say. Tristan, she grew up in California. She is from Lake El Senor, California, and she grew up there with her brother and sister. She said that she remembers that her mom um, would include them in everything. She said that her favorite memory is her mom would write a note that she kept in her car saying that she could bring her brother and sister with her everywhere. She said it's a simple but core childhood memory, but it just goes to show you something about family connection and the importance of people you love along the way. She had her own little note that said, "These are my brother and sister. I'm allowed to bring them anywhere." It's like her little posse. I understand. I grew up with brothers, and for a long time, I had to go everywhere with them until I didn't want to. But that's a different story. I always dive into everyone's background because a lot of times when you're a business owner, you don't always end up, um, you might have gone to school for something different, but then as an entrepreneur, you step into a role suddenly where you're doing more of something that you're passionate about. So I always like to ask whomever I interview, what is your industry background, talent, or passion? Before Hide and Seek, Tristan had been working as a hairdresser since 2006. Her career has been centered primarily around creativity, transformation, and working closely with people, whereas Chelsey comes from a true entrepreneurial background. She owned an escape room called Escapability for more than 8 years. And when you look at these two backgrounds put together, you can start to see how Hide and Seek came to life. One woman with years of experience in creativity and personal transformation in a chair of a hairdresser, while another spent a decade of experience building real life interactive experiences where people physically entered a storybook world and then they worked their way through it using real life problem solving and imaginations. Maybe hide and seek wasn't created from one single idea, and instead it was just built from both of them. Just having learned so much along the way, it was finally time to launch them, which they're doing now, into a real world market where they could actually test pilot what they're doing. What story led you to find Valley Views? Chelsey and I actually met through Heels and Handshakes. I love my Heels and Handshakes group. I just celebrated 2 years. It's the second year in a row for the speed networking event. But truthfully, Heels and Handshakes, if you don't know about it, it is an amazing, 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 amazing. I'm not getting paid to say amazing, but that's how amazing it is. Group of entrepreneurial women from all walks of life that connect monthly. We do monthly meetups. Men are also welcome because we do have a bow tie ally alliance for our men. But it's a networking group of women who show up every month and we empower each other, we compliment each other, we teach each other, we hug each other, we cry with each other, we drink wine with each other. Just this month, there was speed networking, and in an hour and 45 minutes, I met over 27 different amazing women in this community who all had a chance to one-on-one tell me about their blueprint, who I can't wait to cover on future episodes of Valley Views. Tristan, I did not meet until the call, and we had an amazing call. We're now connected on LinkedIn. As our connection grows and the goal for Hide and Seek to take shape, Chelsey and Tristen, I welcomed them onto my show so that they could expand their story to a wider audience. I love, love, love thinking that the one thing that I do from my networking event is actually build a community and then connect that community to my community. Sometimes you have no idea that that one small connection that you're making with somebody is literally going to cross your path again, but maybe it'll be in 6 days or 6 years or 16 months from now. One day she called me up and said, Amanda, it's time. I'm ready. And now here I am telling you her story. I'm telling you her and Tristan are creative minds doing something completely different. As hospitality is changing, I want everyone to consider this. For decades, hospitality has been associated always with hotels, restaurants, and bars, planes and travel cars, and customer service. But today, my friends, people are increasingly searching for real experiences, immersive. People want to participate. They want that memory. They want the story that they can tell afterwards. They want the picture. They want the Instagram worthy moment. And that, my friends, has birthed this entirely new stream of hospitality called the immersive entertainment culture. And that, my friends, is what is driving these two women. I believe that the immersive entertainment is one of the top requests that people are now searching for when they come to Las Vegas. And for Hide and Seek, if you're interested in it, the answer is yes. What these women are doing is an idea that people don't want to sit in the audience anymore. They want to participate. They want to walk through the door. They want to meet the book boyfriend. They want to have the real life chase. They want to feel what their favorite character in a book felt by acting out the scene of that psychological thriller that had them up till 2:30 in the morning drinking red wine, wondering, am I good or bad? Or is this story just a story? Or could I really live it? Well, here's what I'm telling you. In a city like Las Vegas, where imagination, entertainment, hospitality already collide, the birth of Hide and Seek is an incredible opportunity to rethink what an immersive experience could really look like. Ladies, what is your Valley view or your special voice that you'd like me to share? The Hide and Seek mission is centered around empowering women by creating a safe, immersive environment where they can step into the stories they love and explore the fantasies they may not have the opportunity to experience anywhere else. The idea is more about the entertainment. It's about the permission with yourself, the permission to be creative, the permission to explore, the permission to imagine something beyond the role of who you are every day at your job. So many women spend their lives taking care of everyone else. We're mothers, we're partners, we're wives, we're employees, we're business owners, we're caregivers, we're leaders, we're chefs, we're doctors. God, we're even lawyers sometimes, depending on our circumstance. So, what do some women need to fully feel like they have stepped into a space that's completely different from the world around them? And that's where hide and seek comes in too. I want to take a pause and give you a little profile on this actual book story that these women are working on. So when I first met with them, we talked on the phone. They are profiling the book series The Good Girl. I was not familiar with it, and if you are not familiar with it, The Good Girl is a mini, or excuse me, this is my mini profile. The author is Mary Kubica, and it is a psychological thriller and suspense. The Good Girl is a gripping psychological thriller that explores the hidden sides of family, relationships, identity, and the secrets people keep behind closed doors. The story centers on Mia Dennett, a young woman whose life changes dramatically after she's abducted by a mysterious man she believes she can trust. As the story unfolds through shifting perspectives and timelines, readers are taken deeper into the circumstances surrounding her disappearance and the complicated relationships surrounding her. Ooh, I need a drink of my wine. Just a minute. There's a reason I have wine too, and it's a celebration. So I'm celebrating my award, which we'll get to. Um, I haven't had wine on my show probably since my Wine Wednesday one, you know. I had a good Wine Wednesday one a few months ago. That episode had 57 streams. I wonder who listened to it more than once because that was like very high. Anyway, so what makes the good girl the good girl? I'm a good girl. Are you a good girl? We're gonna find out at Hide and Seek next month. What makes a good girl especially compelling is the exploration of the idea that people are rarely as simple as they appear. The novel challenges ideas of who is good, who is dangerous, and who deserves our trust. So that is a little bit of the profile. They have successfully done two test events. The one that I'm going to be talking about soon enough, this will be their third. I always like to say, there's a few things. Okay, we're just going to keep on going. Uh, as an entrepreneur, you know, a lot of times we become entrepreneurs because of our families. So I always like to ask people, tell me about your family. Tell me about what drives you. Tristan, she is married to her husband of 14 years. Yay! She has three boys. Chelsey has a 5-year-old daughter and has been with her boyfriend and bonus dad to her daughter for 3 years. And I think it is very important to talk about this because entrepreneurship doesn't usually happen in a vacuum. You're usually building your business in tandem with raising your children while creating and managing a household, while you're also completely taking a risk on yourself to show up for people who depend on you. So when you're an entrepreneur, it's not only your business, but it's your family's business too, and they're part of that journey. And it is takes a really beautiful family to stand behind you to birth true business, especially in the world we live in. What is something truly unique about both of you that have made you guys so great? Chelsey and Tristan both share a feeling that many creative people understand. They've often felt like they didn't fit in. They think differently. They see things differently. They create differently. And instead of continuing to search for a space where they belonged, they both just decided to create one, just like me on Valley Views. Sometimes the thing that makes you feel like you don't fit in is actually the thing that makes you uniquely qualified to build something new. And hide and seek is that in many ways. It's an answer to that feeling. If there's not a space for you, why not create one? And then leave that door open for the people who have been looking for that space too. Ladies, what advice would you give to someone who is too afraid to start? Their advice is straightforward. You can't perfect something until you discover its flaws by actually doing it. So don't wait to get it perfect. Just get to work. Try, learn, fail, adjust, and try again. And then guess what? Get back to work and then try, then learn, then fail, then adjust and try again. Because the truth is, every successful business has probably gone through more versions of what didn't work to get to what did. And the difference is the people behind it that keep it moving. And maybe that's just the lesson today, or the valley view for anyone listening with an idea sitting in the back of their mind. You don't actually have to have the map before you take the first step. You just have to take the step. What is the greatest challenge you've overcome? Every new idea comes with challenges. What has been the greatest obstacle for hide and seek so far? Well, the greatest challenge has been creating something that doesn't already have a blueprint. Hide and seek combines an immersive entertainment experience, interactive storytelling with actors, and romance in a way that is very new to people. This actually means there is no clear example to follow. They've had to navigate their own self-doubt, limited resources, and the challenge of introducing people to a concept that they may not immediately understand. But the viewpoint is powerful. If the experience you want doesn't exist, sometimes you just have to be brave enough to create it. And that's what this is, an entrepreneurial journey for them, just as much as Valley Views is for me. So sometimes innovation doesn't come from improving something that already exists. Sometimes it actually comes from imagining something entirely different. So, what events do we have coming up next? How can you go? How can you be part of the Hide and Seek community? They are preparing for their final event of the Good Girl series titled The Summoning, The Good Girls Calling. The event continues the hide and seek concept of an interactive storytelling and immersive experience, inviting participants into a world that is meant to be experienced and not watched. The team is also developing plans for a possible fundraising auction event in the future where a portion of the proceeds intend to support a woman's charity. They are also envisioning a Woman of the Year award, creating another opportunity to recognize and celebrate women making an impact. And this is where the vision begins to grow. It's not just a single event. It's about actually creating experiences. And it's also about community and celebration and recognition and creating something for women to support one another in. Ladies, do you believe storytelling and podcasting are the new form of media? They both said yes. People are constantly searching for stories, but they want to hear directly from the people creating the businesses, the ones changing the community, raising families, taking risks, and doing something different. Traditional media will always have a role to play, but podcasting is storytelling, and that's personal. It allows the storytellers to sit down and have a real conversation, to hear the whys, the pain, the uncertainty, and the passion. And sometimes those moments tell us more about a person than a headline ever would. If you're interested in following these women, find them on Instagram and TikTok at Hyde, HYDE, and Seek Immersive. Hyde and SeekVegas.com and on YouTube at Tristen, Hyde, and Seek. I will put them all in the show notes and tag them. So please, once you see these tags go live, follow them. Gonna go ahead and wrap. We're down to the last two questions. What is the one thing that you wish you could tell your younger self? Never give up and always follow through because you fail even more when you never actually try. And the more you try, the more you learn, the more you fail, the more you actually learn to understand things. The more attempts you have actually get you closer to success. And that's an important reminder for anyone who feels like they're behind or anyone who thinks they've failed too many times. Failure is not always the opposite of success. Sometimes failure is just the process that leads you there. So as we close Valley Views today, I want to come back to something that really stands out to me about Hide and Seek and Chelsey and Tristen's story. Is they stopped waiting for someone else to create them an opportunity. They are building it for themselves. They've taken their background in beauty, entrepreneurship, escape rooms, storytelling, creativity, family, imagination, and they've pretty much combined all of that together to create something completely new. That takes a lot of courage, especially when there's no blueprint, when your resources are limited, especially when people actually don't understand your vision and they look at you like, what? But perhaps that's exactly why their story is so worth telling on Valley Views, because they're two people who are existing in an industry and they're actually here to change it. They're ones who didn't fit into a box somewhere, so they decided to design their own. And sometimes the people who look around and say, what if we just did something different for once? Actually are the ones who end up successful. Hide and Seek is actively looking for investors along with a permanent space to continue to grow their vision and bring their storytelling to life. Next month's event is taking place downtown at the Griffin. Um, these two women are absolutely phenomenal, so please feel free to go ahead and find Chelsey Walton and Tristen Lear. Thank you so much for sharing your story here. Valley Views will continue to be a place where anyone can come from the community to share your ideas around family, hospitality, Las Vegas, legacy. And as I close tonight's episode, I actually wanted to say thank you guys. I was actually awarded my very first award for my show. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Um, I was awarded from Deluxe Version Magazine the Top 20 Women of the Year Summer 2026 Award for the work that I've been doing for Valley Views. I was placed among 19 other phenomenal women here in my city. This is the very first award that I have won for my show. It was directly a nomination and a selection because of the work that I am doing. And that is why tonight, oh God, I want to like take the background off so you guys can see this. Okay, here we go. That is why tonight I was celebrating with a very special glass of Pinot Noir, from Oregon. So as I continue my labor of love writing you all a weekly show, I never started this to win an award. I never started this to be famous. I started my show to elevate women just like Chelsey and Tristen and me, who continuously never fit into a box, who never fit into a blueprint. So I just made my own. I built my own table. And even though it's a party of one and a hell of a lot of really great community leaders who have allowed me to share their story, um, without the people who listen to me, I would not have been recognized as one of the top 20 women in my community. Um, the award came with the opportunity to attend a private event at the Sterling Club this past Friday. I will also have a feature and an article and photo shoot in the magazine. This was a surprise and had nothing to do with the future article that will be featured in Washington. And if anyone is interested, I do have an opportunity to go in October or November to Washington, D.C., and I will be taking up some private collections. So if you're interested in donating money directly to me, I would never ask for money, but I am transitioning between jobs, as you learned on my last two episodes. And for as much as you all think I'm a millionaire, at the point I'm at. I'm not there yet, but just like Chelsey and Tristen, this started as an idea. Most people laughed in my face, and now I have PR and media people from all over the country that are reaching out to me to feature their writers, their business owners, and this is almost my 90th episode. So I just want to say I love you all. Thank you guys. Um, I have 4 or 5 really great episodes coming up this month. I'm going to recap the Women of the Year event, going to recap the Afterbark VIP, my first MC event. I have 2 or 3 really amazing interviews out right now of just killer people in this community who are leaving their mark. And I'm so proud of the work that I am doing here on Valley Views. I'm so honored to have an award locally. So cheers from my Oregon Pinot Noir to yours. I hope you all have a blessed, blessed day wherever you are. And most of all, if you're pissed off or you don't know what to do, get in your car and get a new Valley View. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.